Here's one that's way overdue. Mega Man. So let me warn you, if you're new to this channel, this is another one of those things that's super important to me, and I've been a huge fan for many years, and Fandom with ReploidBill, yes, my primary thing is collecting toys, but the memories and importance of the fandom that go behind it are what drives my channel here. So, I'm gonna talk for a minute about Mega Man. Mega Man was a big thing. Let me take you back. Let me take you way back to when the world was different and the internet wasn't quite the same monster that it is today. Years ago, I played Nintendo at my buddy's house. And we played Mega Man and Mega Man 2. And those were the only two that I really knew about at the time. And I played them like crazy any chance that I got to go over there. And one time, I remember one time it was me and a couple of my friends at his house. We even used the Game Genie to guarantee that we could finally beat Mega Man 1, because we could not beat the Yellow Devil. We couldn't do it. I could get us there, but I couldn't beat the stupid thing. Not at the time. Now I can, actually. I've gotten good enough to where I can actually do so, but I couldn't back then. So, a little time passed. I got a computer. It was a Windows 95 computer in 95, and it was a decent compact. And I discovered emulation. During the year of 95, I played a lot of Nintendo and Super Nintendo games emulated on that computer with my buddy. We still played the Super Nintendo for what it was worth. But discovering early emulation and then going from that point forward, I played a lot of games. And one of the things that we discovered was, and I want to say this was around 97 or 98, we started figuring out just how far emulation went. Because I remember the Windows 95 computer, we discovered some emulation, but it wasn't at a point where it was, I didn't grasp completely how to do it yet. Yeah, it was something that was very simple, but computers at the time, they felt more complicated than they really were. It took me time to get used to having a computer and playing with it and being online and doing things like that. And it was during this time that we had SBC Global. I got a Windows 98 computer slightly after that. I want to say it was also compact. At the time, I don't know why, I was not buying the computers. My dad was buying the computers. But he bought a Windows 98 compact, and the Windows 95 computer went up to my room. And when it went up to my room, this was around 97, I think it was late 97, early 98, and then going into 98, I discovered the NES emulator Nesticle. And I also discovered the ZSNES. And I also played for a while, there was like an SX NES 9X or whatever, I can't remember. But these were like the primary emulators that I started using. And I got like a Genesis emulator. I went crazy with it. I had like a Game Boy emulator and all kinds of stuff. And I started playing games like crazy. This was like a massive discovering point for me in my gaming life, where I played all kinds of games. And it gave me interests for things to hunt down and continue on from that point. And it made me a huge fan of different things. And during this time, I started playing Mega Man. And of course, I'd already played Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo, as well as Mega Man X2, and I remember playing Mega Man 5 by this point. So, like, what I could find Mega Man-wise, I was playing. All this emulation hits, and I find all Mega Man. Like, I'm playing Mega Man 1 through, like, I want to say I played Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I also played. I remember that one was Super Nintendo at the time. I didn't own it. I want to say I had to download that game. I didn't own a lot of these. But I'm trying to remember exactly, because I'm trying to date this exactly where it was and when this took place. I got very interested in Mega Man. I want to say this is right before the release of Mega Man 8. That's where I'm placing this in my head, because I remember we were not playing Mega Man 8 on the PlayStation yet. Because I remember it was a later point after I'd already chosen my name that we played that game at my buddy's house up the hill. So this was before that. So we were doing emulation and we were doing all that stuff, and Mega Man 8 had not come out yet. I'm trying to place where that year is. I want to say it was 97 or 98. But we got into playing a lot of games, and one of the things we decided to do was we went crazy on Mega Man. I was like, I want to beat all of them. Like every single one of them. And my buddy at the time was like, let's do that. So I sat down and played Mega Man 1. Got good enough that we beat it. Played Mega Man 2. Got good enough that we beat it. Played Mega Man 3 and started seeing that there was like a little storyline taking place here. That there was a legacy moving forward, and that Mega Man was like a bigger thing than I realized. And not just the story, but you gotta think of something here. At this time, I played Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this game called like Mega Man and Bass. Mega Man and Bass, not Bass. I don't know why, I do that sometimes. But look, I got to playing it, and it hit me. This series is huge. Other series that I play have like 3 games. Castlevania. You get what I'm saying here? Contra, there was like 3 of them that we played back then. I played Contra, I played the Alien Wars, and I played Hardcore. Like, the more I thought about it, this franchise was huge, and there was so much potential. And we started playing through all the games, and then I started getting artwork, and then I discovered that there was like this comic book, I think I want to say it was like a manga of sorts, and then I started kind of like writing my own book. Literally, I was taking sprites and teaching myself how to use the emulator, where I could take screenshots and I could remove all the backgrounds so only the foreground stuff existed, and I could put Mega Man in different poses and whatnot and get every single. So I took my own images and then went in and like captured the Mega Man. So I made my own sprites, pulling from the video games, and then started getting these Mega Man working things, and then started building that into something I could use to make like sprite comics. It just took off. And it was all Mega Man focused for a while. And it was around this time that we left SBC Global, and we were getting AOL at the time, if I remember right. And because we were going to a new service, my dad said, hey, you got to pick a name. Well, I'd been going with a different name for a very long time, and it did seem about right to change it. And at the time, I was super into Mega Man. Like, super into Mega Man. And he said, what do you want to be called? And I said, ReploidBill. And the reason I wanted that is because I just thought Mega Man was like the coolest thing. And I wanted to a living robot, a Reploid. Just like Data was my favorite character, he was an android. There was something about like robots that was like really cool. And I was really into the idea of the super robots, the Reploids, the androids, machines. And like this was a thing that was like just kind of all encompassing at the time. It was a really big thing for me. And I picked that name. And he said, are you sure that's what you... I said, I'm positive. I'm ReploidBill. I'm friggin' Mega Man Bill, ReploidBill. That's what I'm doing. That's my name. And when he typed it out and made the thing, and we made the online account and everything, at that point, I never left that name. It just stuck with me forever. To the point where people started actually calling me Reploid from time to time. And so before I knew it, I'd built an entire idea around Mega Man. And this passion for Mega Man never really died. I still love Mega Man artwork. I'm still into reading up on things for Mega Man. I still love it when new Mega Man games come out. I like seeing animated projects and stuff like that for Mega Man. I like seeing fan projects. I've watched different fan movies and stuff like that, and really cool animations. I love Mega Man. I like seeing other people's reviews of Mega Man games to see where they sit as opposed to how I think about the material. I absolutely love Mega Man, and I have played every single Mega Man game. Mega Man, that's important, not Battle Network and things like that. I've missed some stuff here and there, but the core of Mega Man and Mega Man X, I have played and beat every single one of them. Every one of them. This franchise is fantastic. But I've never bought any toys. Why? So years before Jada Toys, which is these new fantastic looking figures right here that we're going to open today while we look at the boxes here at the start. Before these guys, I had bought a Mega Man figure. I bought a couple of them. I bought a yellow and blue Mega Man, a normal everyday Mega Man color, and base. So 3 Mega Man figures, and they were of this line that were very different than the lines that we're seeing here. They were bigger, they were taller, they had kind of a Mega Man X kind of lankier system to them. They had very big legs, very big arms, and they used to have a problem where over time, and it didn't take very long at all, they would put their arms up and their arm was too heavy and the joint systems were too small, and their arms would drape, or they wouldn't stand upright, or they'd get really flimsy, and I hated it. I hated it. By the way, if these are the Mega Man characters that we have coming, this is going to be fantastic. So far, these are good boxes. They're good for inbox collectors. That's solid, that's open, that's going to give you exactly what you need. The back is really solid. The sides here have decent Mega Man right there. I like how the little character portrait, all very good. All very good. Nothing I could say against the boxes when it comes right down to it. But the figures that I bought before this bothered me. They had flaws. Flaws that after I got rid of them, I saw other Mega Man figures in the future. And I never wanted any of them. They all kind of reminded me of that bad Mega Man experience that I'd had where I bought 3 Mega Man figures and all of them got worn out and destroyed. They felt very low quality. I did not like them compared to other figures that I had, and it really bothered me. So until now, when Jada Toys came out with these, I have not bought a Mega Man figure or a Mega Man statue, or mostly any form of Mega Man extra memorabilia, except for video games, since then. It has followed me, this bad experience with a toy has followed me for years. And I had a printing program where I could make my own writing pads, and I still have this. I made these years ago. I made these. It was like my little fan fiction of a cool Mega Man thing that would have went down. Like if X and Zero had to fight a collection of not only guys from their time, but guys from their past. And this was kind of like my thing here. This is old. I can't stress to you the amount of old that this is, but this was I used to keep these, and this is the only one I have left, but I used to keep these so I could write on them. I made these. I loved Mega Man. I thought he was the coolest thing ever. So when I got a figure of him, and I started playing with the figure, alongside my Joes and stuff like that. At first I loved that. But then, when those figures turned out to be low quality toys that didn't really survive the test of time and play, that bothered me. And I never got over it and never tried to jump into Mega Man Extra stuff again until just now. With these figures, I want to open these and I want to cross my fingers here and say that this is going to cure it. And that Jada Toys, if you can repeat what you did with Street Fighter, then you are going to be my go-to for Mega Man and Street Fighter moving forward. Because Jada Toys is knocking it out of the park. So I'm crossing my fingers that they keep knocking it out of the park. Let's open these and see if they're a home run. So here we are, Mega Man, right here, okay? Let's move him, let's move him. Now, with Jada, we get these effects. This is cool. This is, I'd say it's a little too big to be like the normal blaster pellet, but I'm willing to let it go because I also think, how do I put this? Giving us a dot wouldn't have been very cool. And if we're going with Mega Man 1, they also should not have given us a gigantic, ridiculous charge shot either, because we're not there yet. So I understand embellishing the Buster Cannon a little bit. It's instead of shooting a little lemon dot, we get an actual blast effect, and I'm 100% cool with them taking a slight liberty here. There's no problem with that whatsoever. I'm completely cool with it. Mega Man himself here is, you know, an unassuming, cute little thing, which is cool, right? You get like a child feeling off this Mega Man, which is perfect because the original Mega Man was a small little dude. He was tiny, and this is, I'm 100% on board for this because like right here, right? He's kind of got like a tilt in his head and whatnot, and there's an innocence to Mega Man, and that's important because this is the robot child that when the robot masters went crazy and things started happening, volunteered to be redesigned into a fighting robot to save the world, to become a hero, to step up to the challenge, to put his life on the line. By the way, maybe this is, no, you know what? This is a Mega Man video. You want to hear some awesome, reimagined, fantastic Mega Man movie, music? Movie. Check out the Megas. I also like the Proto Men, but the Megas, man, I make my home there. I love the Megas. I really do. So, in terms of his paint, I'm noticing that there is some shading here going on. This area is a little darker. You see how that's a little brighter. Then it goes into the sides and gets a little darker. I like this. I think it works. I think it works on the helmet right here, too. Kind of darkens up, so we kind of got like where light hits, and then I like that. I like the ear things right here. This doesn't come off, which is fine, because I'm hoping that we get an unhelmeted head if we get a Mega Man 2 Mega Man. That'll be cool, because a Mega Man 2 Mega Man, we do see him without the helmet on top of the building, and that'll be really awesome if we get something like that that kind of plays to that aspect. I'm 1000% on board for something like that. In terms of his posability, because I will say, he's small, but I like that he's small, and I like that he's innocent looking, but I like that he gets real serious. They gave us another head, so he can, you know, he's got like that grunt and everything right there, where he's cracking, you know, he's clenching his teeth, and he's got that anime face. He's gonna shoot at you and jump and strain to pick something up. This is cool. We got a decent amount of posability right here. See how he can kind of put his hand up like that and everything like that? And he can even get into a straight up, like, see this? He can literally put up his dukes. He can fight with you, right? This is cool. We got a decent amount of movement here. Can he sidekick? He can sidekick, so he can straight up do some kung fu moves, which is cool. Do we have a solid T-pose? Yeah. Looks like it. I'm noticing we got a lot of movement here on the head. That's good. He can look up, he can look down, he can kind of brood. Not too much on this. We don't got the quagmire thing going on, but that's okay. I'm actually okay with that. This could probably be a little better moving forward, but I think this is perfect. I think this is fine. I don't hate this at all. We kind of got a thing where, okay, you see, he can kind of do like the jump. Whoop. So he's got that going on. The bottom of the feet are pretty solid. This is where, of course, they put all their wording and everything like that. But the fact that they even went out of their way to do that, his leg can come all the way back up like this. He cannot kick his own butt. He does not have a mega butt, but he's a robot, so he doesn't need a mega butt. So far, I'm into this. I really like him. I am curious. He came with his gun, which, of course, is an absolute essential. If we were going to get Mega Man and he wasn't going to come with his gun, we would have asked questions about that. It's for this hand right here. Now, this, I'm noticing, this we're going to pull his arm off. So it's not quite the same situation. See, we're actually going to take the arm off and replace the arm. Wasn't that tough? Happened very easily. And I actually think I just pulled the wrong arm off. Yes, I did. But that's okay. The fact that that was easy, and it caused me no real trouble, and it didn't give me any neverminds there, it went right back on, no problem. So we got versatility here. In fact, it would not surprise me if later on, if they released another arm, in the same aspect, another gun arm for him. But there, he has his gun arm, which we're definitely going to keep on him because I like that. Let's pull off his head. That's the neck joint. It's nothing too extreme. It's just this. It works. There we go. We're going to take that hand off here. And we're going to put this one on. And then he has another hand, which is, I'm not sure what this is meant to be. At first, I thought that would go here where he would kind of hold the gun. But I'm thinking this is the hand that holds the gun. So I think we're looking at something very much like this, where he's supposed to be firing. And then I think we're looking at something that's kind of like this, right? As far as I could tell, and I'm playing around with him trying to get a guaranteed action pose here, can I balance this leg? Can I make this work? Yes, in real time. In real time, I got a stepping shot. Good. That means his posability is solid for what we're looking at here. We can get decent blast effects, decent movement effects. We can put his hand out to shoot this way while he counterbalances with this arm. Something like this. 2-2-2. Which could be good for like Rush and whatnot. And I'm sure that we'll get different hands and things like that as they release other Mega Man figures. Then comes the big question, do you really want a bunch of hands all the time? I get that. And this is almost like a thumbs up hand or something like that, which could be cool. But now that, in all honesty, I've got the gun on him, I don't think I'm going to be changing that out. That's pretty solid right there. He's cool. He's cool. I want to see the other two real quick before we compare him to a couple things. All right, checking out Iceman, we notice right off the bat that we're going to see a lot of reuse in this line. But that's a good thing when it comes to Mega Man, because Mega Man, by its own design, uses a lot of reuse. A lot of the arms and things like that are going to be the same. That's part of the robot design for this universe in general. A lot of the legs are going to be the same, and that's good. That's cost effective for them. They're going to be able to make legs and arms and things like that and only have to do a couple of pieces here and there, and they could focus on the quality so that makes this Mega Man line really solid right off the bat. This face is so goofy. I know what it is, but it's so goofy. We're going to change it. So right off the bat, we're going to pull the head. Same situation that was going on with Mega Man. And we're going to put on this one, his fighting head. And here we are with Iceman. This is awesome. His colors are real nice. They pop. They got a Nintendo-esque feel to them because they're solid. They really pop. They didn't mess around about making the colors like this bright white and things like that. You know, I love this little effect right here. This little thing that you normally would never have seen. Well, this little back thing right here. See this little bitty thing? This adds a little bit of life. And the little blacks right here. This is fantastic. This adds just a little bit of life to the overall Mega Man thing. I'm wondering if will they incorporate this into every single Robot Master somehow? Because that would be neat. Because this right here feels like a life bar. Just like on Mega Man's gun, of course, you always had like the life bar display. That's cool. I'm curious of that now, how far they're going to go into that kind of stuff. He has different hands. He has this hand right here, which we're going to go with, and then we're going to replace this so that we can put this here, because the idea is supposed to be that Iceman puts his, like this, he's supposed to put his hand forward, almost like he blows into his hand, and creates that ice effect, right? That's the idea that we're supposed to be going with here. In fact, I'm trying to remember here, in terms of the ice, did the ice turn into a spike? I think it turned into a spike. I think it goes this way, if I remember right. So it's supposed to be something to this effect, where that. So he's supposed to kind of reach his hand out, create that cusp right there, blow through his hand, that creates the actual ice effect that he's going with here. Solid. This guy is pretty cool. This guy, I'm going to be honest with you, I almost expected him to be one of the more lame robot bosses. The one I'm most concerned about looking lame is probably Cutman. But I thought he was going to be right behind it. And not that any Robot Master is necessarily lame looking. I think these are awesome little figures. So far, this is going to be a really cool line. I'm really enjoying this already. I think this is really solid. So far, I'm absolutely sold, which is good, because I haven't hated a single thing that Jada has done yet. So we got a solid Iceman, we got a solid Mega Man. I have a feeling, and the reason I saved him for last, Fireman is the star of this wave. I have a feeling that's true. Let's look at him. Am I biased? Does it say that I'm biased? When I immediately, this is the guy that I thought was going to be the star of the first wave. And as far as I am concerned, I was right. I mean, this guy is cool. Not that any of them have not been cool yet. They've all been cool. But check this guy out, man. Like, this is really cool right here. There's just enough detail that this stands out and becomes exactly what it's supposed to be. Like, I like this in here. I also like that there's a little R in here. Not that I'm completely sold on the idea, but there's an L here. I guess I don't love the fact that when he's not like, you know what I mean, there's a little thing. So maybe you could argue that's not great, but it is great that you're never going to get these confused either. So, but once the flame effects are in, I won't notice these and they really won't bother me at all. But it would have been kind of cool to have them so that when the flame's not on, you still got that little yellow area or whatever. Once again, feet are the same way. And I believe his feet were also, he's the same way. Which I said, you're going to see a lot of reuse in here. But look, this guy already is using almost everything is his. These arms, the head, the shoulder blades, the body piece right here, the knees, they're different. Like, he got a lot of his own parts. So he's already the guy in the line, and I'm sure maybe they made Mega Man first. And I'm saying, like, a lot of Mega Man is going to get a lot of reuse where, like, his legs and things like that. Because, like, you could tell that this part is kind of reused, but, like, not this. It's really cool. We're this early in the line. And we're already seeing that they're not cheaping out here. Every guy has a lot of his own parts and own personality. And I want to see this. I want to see him go into his battle mode here. These are the kinds of displays that I'm going to want from these guys. Oh my. Let me get that. This guy's giving me trouble. His neck doesn't want to stay still. He's the first one to give me a problem. Ugh, did I get it? Dang. Wow, okay. There. I got it. I'm shaking the crap out of the table like a tornado here. Like a tornado. Like an earthquake. But for some reason, he gave me a lot of trouble there. Look at that face. That's awesome. That little serious face there. And now let's do this guy right. Right? First off, he has his hair, which is completely awesome that this is even a thing. So we got the fire that comes out of the top of his head. Right off the bat, that is awesome. Like I'm in love with that. And you can move this to the side or whatever if you want it to kind of be this way or something. That's cool. You have the standard fire out of his hand, right, like this. And then you have the fire where it's kind of like, you see how it's kind of coming up? So like, you could very much do like a thing where this is kind of blowtorching out, or you can have it down as a counterweight. So that one's on right now. And then we're like this. And this one, he's kind of holding to the side. There, that's really cool. And then he also came with, just like everybody else did, he came with the actual fire effect that cuts across the screen that you got to worry about, jumping over. So there's that too. And it's really solid. It's just like all the others. So we got like a deal like this where he's just kind of fired off a couple of them, right? And so that's going across the screen. This is awesome. Mega Man figures, man. And good ones. Solid Mega Man figures. I want to see Mega Man stand next to a couple of characters real quick. And then we're going to end this. If we're talking a Capcom universe, this is Mega Man. This is Chun-Li. That's the Marvel vs. Capcom right there. And as you can see, Mega Man is quite a bit smaller, but if you remember in Marvel vs. Capcom, that was true. My dog wants my attention a lot, so we'll have to get through the end of this video a little quicker. But this is solid. I don't hate this at all. I think it works very well. I'm into this. I really am. Let's see him next to a figure like Skeletor. That's something we're looking at right here. Not bad. How do I put this? He's going to have trouble fitting in with certain universes, but that's okay with me. I got him for him being Mega Man. I didn't get him for being in the Lantern universe or something like that. That's not really what I was interested in. But if we are to make such an argument, I have a Superman that just happens to be standing here. So this is what he would look like in comparison to that. And then, because I love it, let's see him next to a Masterverse figure. And not He-Man. There's a good roundabout idea of different figures, except for one thing. We really should put him next to a, something, you know what? We should see him next to at least a, Marvel Legends-esque figure, right? Marvel Legends figure in general. And it's because we're also still on Marvel vs. Capcom, there's that aspect right there. And I need her down anyway because we have a video coming up because I got the 97 Rogue and I want to compare the two figures. And there we go. This is what we're looking at here. Mega Man looks about this scale alongside some normal figures that you're going to be collecting. Say you collect Masterverse, say you collect primarily Origins or the cartoon line, if you like the DC McFarlane figures, if you're currently buying the other Jada figures, if you collect Marvel Legends. This is what he's going to look like scaled alongside other heroes and villains. And I don't hate any of it. I think this is very well done. I think this is a solid Mega Man. Long overdue to finally get some Mega Man on the shelf. And I was fighting between two different ones. There's another Mega Man that's about $40 from another company. I honestly can't remember exactly what it is right now. I think we talked about it in the last live show. I think I actually brought it up when we talked about this. Sometimes here on Friday nights. I try to do it every Friday night. Sometimes I miss. It's not perfect. But I try to be here Friday nights to do like this window shopping show where I kind of talk to people. We look at toys and just kind of hang out. And it was during that one I checked out a couple of Mega Man. This one has my attention the most. First off, it's value. This is a $20 Mega Man figure. For $20, you are getting everything you could want. He poses well. He has a decent size comparison to other characters. He looks right. He's both animated as well as being true to the video game material. He's solid enough that he puts all the detail you need for him to be Mega Man while not overdoing it. Because you could go absolutely crazy and like give him all like gears and contraptions and panels on his body and everything, but that wasn't what we got in the artwork and whatnot. If you remember the artwork for the Mega Man games, it looks a certain way and it doesn't look overproduced. It doesn't look like a robot necessarily. You get what I'm saying? And like there was an anime-esque quality to the original artwork, both in terms of the game, in terms of the artwork that came on the game, not here in America, and the artwork that came in things like the magazines and stuff like that. When you saw Mega Man, he had a look, an anime-inspired look. And not that I didn't mention it, but on him, his life bars, yeah, the same thing that I was talking about, he got the life bars too. He got it on the back of his head, and he got it on his back. These figures are awesome. They are really solid for what they are. They're small. But the robots and robot masters of that universe, as far as I am concerned, always felt like they were supposed to be small. And then when you've seen them in things like Marvel vs. Capcom, they were almost it was a guarantee at that point they were small. And then when he shows up later on in things like Super Smash Brothers, again, he is small. Mega Man is not large. I'm assuming that if Mega Man was a real thing, he's 4 foot tall, maybe a little bit bigger. And to be fair, when I'm looking at him alongside Chun-Li, that seems right. I can easily buy into the fact that this is Mega Man, that it's in the correct scale, it's where it belongs, and it will photograph well alongside other characters and whatever else I want to do. Mega Man is now added to the shelf. And the Wave 1 Mega Man figures from Jada Toys, on a personal note, are solid. I give it the absolute 2 thumbs up. I say they're terrific. I think it cuts into my fandom in a very deep way. It's something that I've wanted for my shelf for a very long time. It's something that I was harmed by when I actually got it for my shelf, and now feel reinvigorated for having it in a better way on my shelf, and one that honestly represents what I wanted from the beginning rather than the kind of toys that I got when I was younger. Everything here points to yes. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what else Jada does. I already have Ken ordered. He's on the way. I haven't been getting the special figures. Evil Ken, I haven't been getting those type of things. So I didn't get the special Ken and I didn't get the special Ryu. I got Ken. I got Ryu. I'm interested in the actual base main figures of Street Fighter. I want the entire Street Fighter II lineup. I don't need the special figures right now. Would it be cool to have them? Yes. Am I somewhat missing out? Sure. But I'm not actually heartbroken about it. If I ever come across those figures at a convention or something of that nature, maybe I will pick them up. But for the main stuff that I'm wanting here, Jada's doing it, and Jada's making them available, and they're not pumping them out so fast that I can't handle it. We got 3 figures in the last wave for Street Fighter. I got all 3 of them. I don't regret a single one. I got all 3. They pumped out 3 for Mega Man. I got all 3 of them. I didn't miss a single one, and I don't feel like I missed out on anything, and I got them, and they're fantastic. Now, the next wave of Street Fighter figures, I'll buy all 3 of those. $20, $20, $20, $60, the entire wave. That's fantastic. The prices are fantastic. The quality is fantastic. If you want the proof of that, I already checked out every single one of the Jada figures, Fei Long, Ryu, and Chun-Li, and I loved all 3 of them. I thought they were unbelievably well done. Jada is knocking it out of the park here, and I absolutely cannot wait to see where they go from here. Because if this is like other toy lines and they just get better and better, these guys are starting at a point that's already making some of the big players look bad. That's insane. Mega Man added to the shelf. This has been another long video. I'm gonna get out of here. I have spoken. Take what you will from it.